Hello, beautiful people. So today we're going to be going over the complete overnight process for sleeping in your car, and this is specifically geared towards trying to do this in an urban area. If you're at a truck stop or at a dispersed camping spot, this video really won't apply to you. In those spots, just make sure you're clean and you're basically good to go. In urban areas, in like cities like this, I'm in Salt Lake City right now, you have to be a lot more careful because people are nosy, you know, the cops will come knock on your window if you're not careful, all that. I don't want to stress you out. I've been doing this for 2 years, never once gotten a knock, so just follow this process and you're good to go. So, we're in an urban area. We're going to go over where you're going to sleep, how to find the spots, and then the entire process and how to make sure you're doing it correctly in a stealthy way. So let's get started. I will try to keep my rambling to a minimum. So, the number one thing is before you get to your sleep spot, you need to get everything done before you get there. So I have a pre-sleep spot. So I'm in a pre-sleep spot right now. That's just what I like to call it, your sleep spot and your pre-sleep spot. It's just a random parking spot that's not the sleep spot. So you get everything ready and done that you need to do in this spot. So I've just brushed my teeth, I've peed, I've gotten everything cleaned up and ready to go. Once I get to my sleep spot, I'm ready to go to bed. Now, I will usually read a book with dim lights or browse very lightly on my phone with, again, dim lights. As long as, and I have a very blackout setup, so it's not an issue for me. As long as what you're doing at your sleep spot is completely stealthy, no one can see you, it just looks like a normal car from outside, you should be good to go. But again, if you're just starting out, I would recommend when you get to your sleep spot, the only thing you do is go to sleep. So I've gotten everything set up. We're good. I'm ready to sleep or read. Now what do we do? So first thing is going to be actually finding where you're going to sleep. So there are lots of options, okay? I'm going to recommend that you choose side street parking. And again, there's a lot of options. You can go apartment complexes, hotels, Walmarts, even random parking lots, 24-hour gyms, truck stops, gas stations. You can make a lot of things work, okay? But what I'm going to recommend to you is side street parking and in a pinch, apartment complex or hotel parking lot, or even like a 24-hour gym or a Walmart. So those are like secondary, but side street parking is really going to be your best bet. And now that's more applicable in the West Coast, like middle of the country left, side street parking is really, really good. The East Coast is a little bit less good for side street parking, but absolutely still a great option there, probably still the best option over there. I've been coast to coast, so I know. So the reason why I like side street parking is because it's less invasive, right? It's very normal for people who live in homes to park their cars on side streets, especially in residential areas. It's a very normal thing to do. You just blend in, and it's more legal than the other options, right? You're not like in someone else's parking lot, you're just like on a public street, right? So it's a really good option. You just need to make sure that you're stealth, especially in residential areas, and you never, ever, ever park in front of somebody's house. So let's go find a spot. So I use Google Maps. I will record this on my phone screen so you can see what I'm doing in high detail. So Google Maps is awesome. Oh, and also I'm in Salt Lake City right now. I've been here before several months ago, but I just arrived today, so I haven't been here in a while. So you can treat this as if it's like it's my first time in this area. I have no idea where I'm going to park. We're going to scout out the areas together, and I'll show you how I would do this if it were my first time in an area looking for spots. So Google Maps is great. It has this thing called satellite view, which is what the view you're looking at right now is. And basically, it's not like your animated view that's pretty common. It's like actually what the satellite's view from top to bottom, which means you can kind of zoom in here and look at what the actual layout looks like. So I can see here that like, oh yeah, it's a roundabout, there's cars parked on the side of the street, all of that. Which is really, really awesome when you're trying to scope out, you know, where you want to sleep for the night. It's really, really good tool. On top of that, Google is really great at this. You just tap on the street, and then you have this thing called Street View. So we can tap here, and then you can literally see what it's like to be walking on that street. It's a great, great tool. So these two things together, it's just incredible for scouting out options. real quick, let me see if I can quickly show you. Oh no, my overlay is messing me up. Where we can turn on the satellite mode. So probably settings. Start maps and satellite view. This option right here. So just make sure that's on, and then restart Google Maps and you'll be in satellite view. Okay, so scouting out areas. So basically, you can kind of search for what you're looking for. If you're dead set on parking at a Walmart. Now most Walmarts don't allow overnight parking anymore, so it's not the best option, but some still do. So you could just search here for Walmart, and we could just go to the nearest Walmart and head there. But again, I'm gonna show you how to do side street parking. So basically what you're gonna wanna do is look for residential areas. So if we zoom in up here, you can tell this is not a residential area, okay? This is a business center. That's not where you wanna go. You wanna go to residential areas. So basically neighborhoods, which is this kind of greenery down here. So we're gonna kind of look around here. And basically, you're going to go through just kind of arbitrarily starting at a random street, and you're just looking for a couple things. So the number one thing to stay away from is you never, ever, ever want to park in front of somebody's house. The number one thing you want to look for is a fence. We love a good fence, especially ones that are like human height. So it like completely blocks the view from the house. That is perfect. Sometimes you're not going to be able to find one of those, but you never want to park in front of somebody's house. So what does that mean? You park in between people's houses. You park in front of trees or shrubbery or a small fence. Or again, the best thing, the thing you want to look for is you park in front of a big fence. So that's what we're looking for. And usually on the satellite view, that's going to look like a little line next to the road. And you can double check that with the street view. So I'll show you that here. We're just kind of going through. Also, if there are cars parked on the side of the street, that's a really good indicator. Because you kind of want to blend in, right? So if you're parked next to another car, it's a good thing. So we're just kind of looking here, not seeing a fence or something that would look like a fence. Big trees like this, sometimes that's good. So I'm going to just press on the street, and then we're going to press on the street view, and we're going to see. Nope, so that's a pretty thin tree. Although right here, ooh, look at that, we have a fence. So this right here is perfect. Now it's a little bit thin, right? The best option would be this, but if it went all the way to the street, now this is super nitpicky at this point. This is a great spot right here, right in front of this fence. From like, you don't want to be in front of the driveway, right? But like here to here, just in front of that fence is a great spot. So what I'm going to do is just tap on the point, right? So we know where it is. And then we're going to press save. And then I have a lot of lists. Just make a list that you want to keep track of these things for. For random stuff that I want to do, I have a what list. So what, back, and done. So now if we zoom out, right, we see, oh, look, this is one of our spots. Perfect. And again, you can look at the street view here, right in front of that gate. So that's one of our spots. That was super easy. Let's go like up here. See if we can find a good place up here. Let's see right here. We got some cars, a tree. Yeah, it's okay, but you see how these fences are pretty low and see-through, so that doesn't really count as a fence in my book. Here, it's a little bit better because you have some trees there, but I'm going to pass on that spot. Let's see, right here, there's like a line in front of there, which means it might be a fence, but probably not. Nope, no fence. Okay, there is a little bit of shrubbery there, so that's, you know, okay in a pinch. Let's see, over here, looking for a fence. What is this? That looks quite strange. It might be some sort of fence. Ooh, a fence, perfect. Okay, now this is a little bit of see-through, but it, like at night, that's not really see-through, that kind of material there, so this would be perfect right here. So I'm gonna press save. What? We have that spot pinned, but that one is not my favorite because it was a little bit see-through. Let's go back in this area, see if we can get another spot. And at this point, if I get two spots, I'm just gonna go drive to my best looking spot. and we'll kind of see from there. Usually, I'll actually, in the process of driving to the spot, I will find a suitable spot even before I get to the spot. So a lot of times when you just drive around, you can find a spot, but it's nice to have a destination to go. Very stress-free way of doing things. And this usually only takes about 5 minutes. Sometimes it can take a little longer, just depending on your area. Let's see, maybe over here. So again, this okay because it has some shrubbery, but not the best because it's a low fence and see-through. And it's good that I'm not finding these right away, so you guys can kind of see what this looks like most of the time. And the smaller the street, or like the non-main street, so like streets that like go through all the way through, like what's this one called? West 3650S. That one that goes all the way through, that one will have more traffic, so you probably want to avoid that one, just because you don't want cars flying by you at night. Let's see here. Okay, this looks like something. Nope, that's a small fence. Ooh, yeah, okay, this one is good. Right here. Although this is like directly in front of their house, so I wouldn't really choose this one because it's like right in front of their door. But that is a nice fence, so I will save it. Let's try and find one more spot for you guys just so you can see what the process is like. This looks like a fence, although probably a see-through. Yes, see-through. You'll develop an eye for this eventually. Okay, we got some shrubbery. So this actually looks okay to me. Now it's not the best, but it's like shrubbery. Ooh, ooh, yeah, right here. Look at that. So we got good fence with shrubbery, RV right there. Oh, and this side too. So this is really good right here. So that was right here. That's a perfect spot. Okay. So we've scattered out a couple spots, okay? We have these kind of pinned all around. I'm trying to remember, what was the best looking one? I think, was this one? What did this one look like? Yeah, that one was cool. Which one is close? Yeah, so that one's pretty close. So let's just go there. So basically what I do here is usually I only scout out 2 spots, okay? The better of the 2 spots I will go to, and then I will just drive there, and a lot of times I'll take like the wrong turn to get there just to like go around different streets in the neighborhood, and usually I will find a spot before I get there. So it's just like, it's peace of mind. Like I'm just looking around, but I know if I don't find a spot here, I have a spot in my Google Maps. So it's like really nice setup. So we're just gonna go here. Again, we've scouted out our spots. And again, if that first spot, if we don't find any spots driving there and the first spot doesn't look good, that's why we have the second spot, okay? Or in this case, we have 4 spots. So we're gonna find a spot very nicely. So we have our GPS set. Again, we're gonna go through, so once I get to the spot, I'm not gonna talk, right? Because once we're in the sleep spot, you wanna be very stealthy, okay? So I'm gonna go through what I'm gonna do before I get there. So we're gonna park, we're gonna put up the windshield cover, we're gonna crack the window about 1 inch, that's just to help with condensation. We're gonna turn off the car, make sure nobody's looking, make sure the coast looks clear, everything looks good. Also, trust your vibes on these sort of things, okay? Trust your intuition. If something's like feeling not great, don't trust it. If something's feeling sketchy, don't trust it. But right, so we're looking, everything looks good. We're gonna pop to the back, pull the curtain, and we're good to go. So 7 minutes away, perfect. All right, so we're 4 minutes out, and I just want to say a quick word on stealth. So it's really important when you're in an urban area, stealth parking, to have a stealth setup. So that means tinted windows, if you can afford it. Tinted windows are awesome, but tinted windows are not enough. You need tinted windows plus window coverings, or if you can't get tinted windows, you need to get some sort of window covering. And basically that's just something you can put up against the window when you're sleeping at night so that people can't see in, and then it looks like a normal car from the outside. And the more stealth your build is, the more you can get away with. So if you have a really blacked out stealth build like me, from the outside, everything just looks like a black tinted car. It looks so normal. You can even see through the front windows like a normal car, but then you have the blackout curtains and it just looks like a dark car from the outside. So if you have a really stealth build like me, you can basically go anywhere. If you just have Reflectix on the windows, it's probably iffy to go in residential areas and stuff like that. If you don't have any window coverings at all, I would not go in any residential areas at all. And probably just stick to like rest stops and stuff like that. So where you can park kind of depends on how much stealth you have. I would recommend getting a good stealth build. Basically what that means is tinted windows if you can, window coverings, windshield cover. Those are the basics. And you can go as extravagant as you want. The more the better. The bare minimum that I would recommend for parking in a residential side street would be window coverings that are black on the outside. So when people are passing by, it just looks like a tinted car. And if you go up closely, you know, if it's not tinted and you just have black coverings, it'll be pretty noticeable that it's just black coverings. But at the very minimum, if people are just walking by, it'll just look like a tinted car, and it's good enough. But again, the more stealth, the better. So according to Google, I should turn in 0.2 miles, but I'm gonna turn right here just so I can see more of what the residential streets here look like, so I can drive around for a bit, see if I can find a better spot. But then I still have this to go to if I don't find a spot, just kind of roaming around. And this is probably unnecessary, right? I could just make it quick and just go to the spot. If I was in a rush or super tired, that's what I'd do. But we got some time to kill, so we can look around here, see if we can find the spot. And I don't really know why I do this. It just kind of gives me peace of mind, because I always like to have something in the GPS. So actually right here is really good. Right in front of those gates, that's perfect. But it's not glued to the car. Ooh, okay, so right here. And the reason why I like to be grouped up with, oh my god, that's I can't go on that street because my Prius will bottom out. That side street was horrible. Okay, I can turn here. Okay, oh, beautiful. Look at these huge fences. That's perfect. That looks good. I might turn around and just park right there. So I'm speaking on a voiceover right now. I had chosen this spot to sleep at for the night, and I didn't want to make any additional noise. Now, this spot is quite different from the other spots that I've shown in this video, and there's a good reason why I chose this one, and that's because of the other cars. It's a huge plus for stealth in residential areas when you park with other cars, and that's kind of true across anywhere that you park. You want to be grouped with other cars, because then you're not like singled out. You're not like this weird car on the side of the street. You're just one of the residents here in this huge line of cars, right? You don't stand out. That's the big difference. Now, we're to the side of someone's house, which isn't great, but at least we're not in front of their house. We're to the side of their house, and there is a small fence there, but it's not a big fence. It's definitely see-through. So those things aren't great, but it is to the side of their house. There's a small fence, and we're in a huge line of cars. So this is a very good spot to sleep for the night. This is what I chose, and now I'm doing that list of things to get ready for bed, and that's the complete overnight process. So I hope this was useful for some of you out there. I hope if this is your first time, this works out for you, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer any questions y'all have. So sleep tight, guys.